Please be seated. Good morning, everyone, and on behalf of everyone at Overseas Family School, a very warm welcome to this graduation ceremony for our class of 2021. We hope families and friends watching in Singapore and around the world will enjoy this celebration of a very memorable day in the lives of our seniors. The circumstances under which these students have had to complete their high school education and earn their diploma have been exceptionally challenging. Graduates, you can be doubly proud of yourselves that you are here today for us to recognise and to applaud what you have achieved in the face of great adversity. We hope that you will always have fond memories of Overseas Family School, your teachers, and your friends from Singapore, no matter where you may find yourself in the world. The start of every OFS graduation since 1991, we have always recognised and shown appreciation for this country we have all called home, even for just a few years, or for most or even all of your school life. After the Singapore National Anthem, the ceremony of recognition and encouragement to even greater things will be led by Dr. Simon Dench, the high school principal. Please stand for the Singapore National Anthem. Thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you, Ms. Benton, and welcome everybody. A very good morning. Good morning, graduates. I'm pleased to share with you all this very important moment in the life of our school, and in particular, the young men and women of the OFS class of 2021. We will start with a school song sung by the high school choir and accompanied by the orchestra.
Places far and wide, we make new friends.
want to start by congratulating the class of 2021, not only for your achievements that we are recognising as you graduate here today, but for the manner in which they've been achieved, especially over the last 18 months. In some ways, your journey has been even more interrupted than last year's class. While those of you taking IB diploma courses got to sit your exams, unlike last year, the nature of your courses differed in many ways from initial expectations. Some papers and topics were removed, IAs and some EEs had to be rethought. Extracurricular activities, including CAS, required considerable flexibility. I was particularly impressed by your response to the challenges posed by completing your CAS obligations. I watched you create and participate in some of the most authentic and meaningful student-driven CAS experiences I've ever seen. So well done for your creativity, persistence and flexibility in the face of the changes that have come your way. In the face of the challenges that have come your way. Trying to find the sweet spot in my glasses with the fogging up was not easy. But while the last 2 years of your OFS journey will rightly loom large in your memories of this place, your COVID experience should not define you. I invite you to reflect on your whole experience of OFS. For many of you, that comprises a large chunk of your lives. I want to particularly acknowledge the following students who have been at OFS since grade 3 or earlier. Can you please stand as I call your name and remain standing? Since grade 3, Twisha Kedrua, Kalani Wernick Santos. Since grade 2, Arnaz Dala. Since grade 1, Divya Rajagopala. Since K1, Ruhan Juyal, Hyunsuk Roo. And since pre-K2, Otilia Bachman Kwas. Okay, thank you. Be seated. Apart from your well-earned diplomas, what will you take away from your years here? I hope you can recognise the gift that you've been given with the opportunity to study in an international setting that is our school. Your experience here will carry you forward and will inform everything you do, guiding you in the way that you relate to other people from every country throughout the rest of your lives. I hope you look back on your years at OFS with fondness and a sense of achievement. We are proud, your parents are no doubt proud too, and you can be very happy that you have succeeded and will be awarded your diplomas today. And now we have the student speaker. Students in this class section have chosen Samarth Gowda to speak on their behalf. Samarth is a very talented and thoughtful young man with an impressive intellect. I'm also insanely jealous of his musical talent. I present Samarth Gowda.
Thank you, Dr. Danch, for introducing me. Dear parents, teachers, directors, and students, I warmly welcome you to the graduation of the class of 2021. Today, I am honored to be standing here as a representative of our cohort to give the high school commencement speech. I always expected that on the last day of school, we would be hit with this wave of truth and clarity about the future. But honestly, as I sat in the art room on April 21st with Arnav and Devang decked out in our prom clothes and fervently playing Clash Royale, everything just seemed oddly the same. You could blame it on the fact that our graduating circumstances haven't been ideal, or the fact that I was increasingly focused on a makeshift handball tournament that Devang was conveniently dominating. But really, where was this epiphany that I was waiting for? This mantra to give me direction in life? Was the 6,848,000 seconds of blood, sweat, tears, and good old high school education simply not enough? Reflecting on our time at OFS, I realized that really, our direction in life is formed by all the experiences we've had here at school. It hasn't been easy for us, especially with the pandemic and how it's affected our academic and social lives. Regardless, unconsciously, our cohort has developed this amazing ability to persevere due to our shared experience of getting through high school together. If you feel lost or confused in regards to your identity or where you stand, don't be. You spent 2 years doing one of the most challenging high school diplomas in the world, and in doing so, you've grown and developed into your very own persona. And you should be proud of that. Let's think back to everything we've been through. We're the biggest group on campus, and as students, obviously the most important. We're encouraged to take risks, be creative, and be competitive. And OFS students have taken this to heart. When faced with last year's lockdown, many of you took it upon yourself to use this time to work hard on your EEs, focus on improving your art skills, and most importantly, practice maths. Or maybe you binge watch Grey's Anatomy on Netflix. But the point is, you persevered. Gur took it upon himself to work out every second he had, and now he can bicep curl me 10 times. There's video evidence if you don't believe me, and a picture of Gur in the yearbook. Aditya did maths every single day until he finally got that coveted grade 7, until Mr. Hornell told him that was the easiest test we do all year. Ria diligently focused on and finished her business EE with all her passion and commitment 2 days before the submission deadline. Hyunseok and Parth indulged themselves in current issues and world politics to destroy each and every single one of the arguments I had. And finally, Dishant became a freelance novelist. Even after we came back to school, despite the onslaughts of IAs and deadlines that we had to meet, humor always presented us with a way to cope with the difficulties of high school. Amog enlightened us with his detailed quantum physics lectures in Mr. Marcos's room. Needless to say, I now probably know too much about cats and boxes, and Rick is out of a job. Divya's Dovio Instagram page helped us give us a few laughs to get through a particularly tough day. Ruby impressed us with her weird ability to guess people's star signs. And when we struggled with learning about Newton's first law or trying to find the equation of a straight line, Rick and James were there to tutor us and poke a bit of fun. Similarly, in dealing with the stresses of IB, the students of OFS persisted through their difficult journey. In fact, managing the IB deadlines became somewhat of an extreme sport in itself, which seems to have gone under the radar of the PE department. These games were not meant for the faint-hearted, and we rose to the challenge, adapting and competing to survive these diploma-threatening events. And you know what? Adults and teachers may view our participation in these sports with disappointment and scrutiny, but I believe it should be commemorated and recognized because it's grown to represent an intrinsic part of the OFS spirit and our commitment to never giving up. Firstly, congratulations to Ved for completing an entire one-page analysis for English as Miss Brady was collecting our homework. An honorable mention goes to Shaurya and Aditya, who were unfortunately caught printing out their image to analyze. Moreover, I would like to recognize Ishita for the least amount of hours left before a school day, at a grand total of 3 hours as she hysterically finished her bio IA, with Ritashi and Shaurya coming a close second. Honorable mentions goes to Anaya and Ruhan, who despite their lack of sleep, always seem to contain a surplus of energy. Furthermore, I want to recognize Marius for his breathtaking feats of submitting his economics and ITGS IAs on Turnitin 30 seconds before the deadline closed. If you want to know what living life on the edge looks like, spend a day with Marius. Some of us decided to be more active and healthy. For instance, despite Ms. Vic holding them back in chemistry to finish their IAs, Cumin and Twisha decided to develop a new workout routine by sprinting to their next class every time. Finally, I would like to recognize Diggy and Arnav for consistently starting a majority of their IAs or studying for a test the day before. I hope they continue to inspire others by pushing the limits of time management and showing us what is possible. While I've only mentioned certain individuals, achievements such as these can be found throughout our grade. Our behavior may seem absurd to some of you watching out there, but I think it's important to acknowledge that even in the most harrowing circumstances, we've learned from them. We've learned important and essential life skills that can't be replaced and will stay with us for the foreseeable future. Upon this thoughtful reflection, it dawned upon me that there is no wave of truth or clarity that awaited us at the end of high school. The wave had slowly been washing over us all of these years, sometimes the size of tsunamis and sometimes like tiny ripples in a pond. It all depends on the choices you've made, the challenges you've faced, and the people you've met. In fact, everyone here at OFS has played a key part in forming the person you are today, whether you realize it or not. And I think as students, we should be appreciative of that. Teachers, you've been instrumental in our development as strong, independent individuals. Your guidance over the years has helped us succeed and attain the grades we desire. While you may be breathing sighs of relief that we're finally leaving, it's hard to believe that many of you have endured us in your classes for almost 4 years. That's a long time. We will miss Ms. Stewart's deep analysis of literature, Mr. Bruff and Mr. Vedi's stories, Mr. Whittlestone's weekly screenings of The $1 Million Idea on Fridays, convincing our languages teachers that we don't use Google Translate, and Mr. Hornell roasting us in maths because we think 9 plus 3 is equal to 14. Parents, while unfortunately we may not be here face to face, so you can cry over the thousands of dollars you've invested in our private education, yes, we know that's why you really cry on our graduations. It is because of your continued support from day one until now that we can finally say we finished high school. We're a product of your hard work and sacrifice over these years, and I don't think you guys should hesitate to congratulate yourself either, as we couldn't have done this without you. In the future, I hope you will continue to show us support through all the extra tuition fees you will pay for us as we change our majors 5 times or more. So class of 2021, we're about to be set free into one of the most uncertain and thrilling periods of our lives. While this can be a good thing, as now we won't ever have to do TOK again, goodbye Socrates, it's also scary because you're entering this huge world out there without any real experience, information, or help. But like I said at the start, if you ever feel lost, look back on what you've achieved here at OFS to appreciate the effort you've not only put in yourself, but your education. All the funny fails, epic successes have given us a taste of what the real world holds for us, and I can't wait for all of us to go out there and put our skills to the test. As the philosopher Confucius once said, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Samath. Students like Samath that make me proud to do what I do. Fantastic. But there's one thing I will pick you up on there, Samath. You said that you never have to do TOK again. I'm sorry, I've got news for you. TOK is everywhere. It never goes away. And now we move on to a senior musical medley with some of your very talented classmates on display, including the young man we just heard from. Full rock and roll mode.
Tonight I'm gonna have myself a real good time. I feel alive, and the world, I'll turn it inside out, yeah. I'm floating around in ecstasy, so don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. I'm a shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, 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 there's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky, yeah, 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I'm gonna make a supersonic man out of you.
So this is what you meant when you said that you were spent. And now it's time to build from the bottom of the pit right to the top. Don't hold back. Packing my bags and giving the academy a rain check. I don't ever wanna let you down. I don't ever wanna leave this town. 'Cause after all, the city never sleeps at night. It's time to begin, isn't it? I'll get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand that I'm never changing who I am?
Let it roll right off your shoulder, don't you know? The hardest part is over, let it in. Let your clarity define you in the end. We will only just remember how it feels. Our lives are made in these small hours, these little wonders, these twists and turns of fate. Time falls away, but these small hours, these small hours still remain.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hang it on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Thank you for that, and a great deal of talent on display. Students in this class section have chosen Ms. Trapdeep Trivedi to be their faculty speaker. Ms. Trivedi is a caring and passionate educator. She always strives to get the best out of her students and herself. She's a great role model of a lifelong learner, and she is also the owner of the most spectacular wardrobe of anyone I know. Trapdeep.
Thank you, Dr. Dench. Good morning, respected directors, Ms. Benton, Dr. Dench, colleagues, parents, students, and to our proud graduates of 2021. Congratulations to you and your dear ones. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be chosen by you as your graduation speaker. I'm humbled, honored, and delighted. I'm also thankful to all my colleagues and friends, including Ms. Levin Peter, who have to endure listening to my practicing speech multiple times, and along with me, they might have also memorized it. When I came to know you had chosen me as your speaker, I started reflecting on moments, stories, and experiences that had a profound impact on me, my thought processes. I hope some of these stories will help you to make right decisions, just the way they have done for me. To start with, some of you might already have heard a few stories from me about my dad and mom, and you still chose me as your speaker. My dad and mom both are doctors. My dad is a cardiologist and MD in medicine. He will be upset if I didn't mention that. And my mom is a gynecologist. Now, it's not a surprise that I'm a biologist. This first story is when I was in grade 9 or 10. I was constantly loaded with school assignments and projects, just like you. I was perennially exhausted. I resorted to what I thought might be the perfect remedy, complaining, and I did a lot of that. One evening, when my dad and I were having evening tea, I fumed, and I said, "Dad, you have no idea about my life. It's terrible with a capital T," and I went on and on. My dad patiently listened. Later, Dad and I went for a walk. Against the orange hue of the setting sun, we both saw a young woman balancing a load of bricks on her head, and intermittently we could hear the wailing of her child nearby at the construction site. My dad thoughtfully remarked, "Life is forgotten to be kind to many people around us. I hope we can every day be grateful for the opportunities we have and actively do something to make lives of people better around us." This is one of the many stories related to my dad where he always highlighted the importance of being grateful and helping others. His innate ability to stay positive no matter what has had a deep impact on me. This other story is my absolute favorite, so listen up. Thinking back about my childhood, a lot of my memories are listening to Dad and Mom discussing intently about the line of treatment for their patients. With them, I had experienced moments of elation when they could turn around a life-threatening situation, and also felt the heavy weight of despair when things go beyond mortals and medicine. Unlike most moments where my dad and mom always disagreed with each other completely, they were always on the same page when it came to professional decisions. I think I was in grade 4 or grade 5. It was early evening. Sitting with my family, I could sense a tension in the air. My mom had donated blood for a patient in her hospital. My dad, surprisingly, was not happy about it, as the relative of the patient, instead of being thankful to my mom, was plain rude. My dad expressed his displeasure and said, "It is pointless and of no use. They just don't care what you do for them, and you should stop caring." My mom gave a quizzical look to my dad and spoke her words softly, but with full determination. Her words changed my life forever. I can still hear them very clearly in my ears. She said, "It mattered to my patient. She survived." My mom's selfless, caring dedication to her profession, where the health and survival of her patients is always of utmost importance, has always inspired me. My mother's words are also echoed by two of my favorite teachers, Ms. Geeta Jayakumar and Dr. Varsha Santosh, who gave me one of the best advice I have ever received. When you're wondering about to do or not to do, check your intentions. Why do you want to do a particular thing? Is it for petty pursuits of name or fame? Or is it for the betterment of people around you or yourself? Do what is important for you. Not getting shaken by the judgment of others liberates you. I'm hugely indebted to my parents. It's just like other parents, they have endured a lot to bring contentment and peace in my life. I will strongly recommend all of you to not miss a single opportunity to appreciate your parents. My last family story. When my daughter was around 5 years old, I started encouraging her to be organized. Every day after school when I reached home, I had to remind her with some irritation to keep her bag, etc. in the designated space. One evening, I came back home and lounged on the sofa. My daughter stormed into the room and gave me a big, long, angry stare. I knew I was in trouble. Then she said, "Why do people only notice when you do something wrong? Today, I kept everything in the correct spot. You didn't even notice." I reflected and realized giving a genuine compliment and a word of appreciation is hugely undervalued and underrated. I have corrected myself since then. I would encourage you to notice when people do something with their heart in it. You might notice it in your mind, but be brave enough and go to the person concerned and share your appreciation. My daughter, though only 5 at that time, taught me 2 very important lessons. Teachers can be of any age. We should be willing to learn. And secondly, we should hold on giving our criticism as long as we can. And we must give a heartfelt compliment as quickly as we can. By the way, all of you are looking lovely. My last story, of course, has to be about students. In one of the schools I worked at, I was involved in following up on the summative science lab reports. Oddly, some students don't like writing lab reports. I'm sure all of you will agree with me that there is nothing more exciting in life than writing a lab report. Anyways, a boy was sent to me as he missed a deadline. As the protocol required, I gave him an extension and asked if he needed any help. He agreed to the extension, but didn't want any support. A few days later, this student was again in my office. And when I asked him why he hadn't used the extra time, he muttered under his breath. There was burning coal in his eyes, and after that, he refused to make an eye contact. All this was happening during lunchtime. I had a long queue of students waiting for me to attend, and I was starving. I could feel a surge of irritation rising up. I felt I was about to snap. However, I remember taking a pause and then gently telling the student, "If you need help, we both can sit together, don't worry." I then followed the procedure and informed the parents, etc. As a professional. I really want you to remember, it is totally possible to do your duty and be kind at the same time. Months later, we found out while all of this was going on, this student's mom was breathing her last in the hospital, battling a deadly disease. In hindsight, I was so thankful to myself that I carried on with all my tough conversations with this student and his family in the kindest way possible. I have many such memories where I felt so relieved that I decided to respond, not react. We have no clue what is happening in people's lives. They have still shown up. We must recognize this and talk with them with kindness and understanding. Do our duties with no trace of irritation and frustration. I was telling Ms. McConville that this last bit made me very teary when I was practicing. I'm slightly better now. Coming back to today, this is definitely a bittersweet day for me. While I'm so happy to be able to celebrate this key milestone in your life with you, it's hard for me. I know I'll miss you beyond what my words can express. You are a class who has shown that you can rise to the occasion and give your absolute best. In you, I have seen all the lessons I have spoken of brought to life. A year ago, when I set the task of creating ESS storybooks, for my class, a close friend of mine laughed at me and declared that no one will do that task because it requires too much work and it was not even graded. Not surprisingly, you proved her wrong. I saw my mother's sincere work ethics in your impeccably designed ESS storybooks. I've shared your work in every ESS workshop I have led since then. And everyone just drools over them. You have superseded every expectation. One way I'm able to follow my dad's advice of giving back to the community is with the help of my biology class. They often selflessly give me their lunchtime so that we can do virtual labs for the underprivileged community we are supporting. Along with this, I will also miss crazy fun times, countless birthday celebrations during short break, impromptu Bollywood dancing, sincere request for a free lesson in Thursday period 5. It is so hard to imagine coming back to school in August and not seeing you guys. So with the hope that this is not the last time I'm saying this to you, look at my pretty face, lovely people. For me personally, your class has given us many bests. Best Personal Project Exhibition, Ms. Bibi and I were talking about it. Best Personal Project Support Group. Best Personal Project Support Group Leaders, one of them is sitting right here. Most empathetic class, excellent learners, and many more. As you can see, you have contributed to the culture of Overseas Family School. And we all are so happy that you're taking the culture of Overseas Family School in the world outside and will definitely make it a better place. I'm reminded of this quote, to meet and part. To meet and part is the way of life. And to part and meet is the hope of life. You all make me very, very hopeful. Once again, congratulations. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Chapti, for those lovely and wise words. Now, on to the conferral of diplomas. In my role as high school principal, I have carefully reviewed the academic records of these students. The Academic Board of Overseas Family Schools certifies that each student has met the OFS standards and requirements for receiving a high school diploma. As is the tradition at OFS, the graduating students have also received a copy of the book, The Man Who Planted Trees, a short story about how individuals with determination and commitment can make a difference to the world. I will now ask your academic advisor, Mr. Adam Ashton, to assist me with the conferral of the diplomas.
IE, China. Aldrich, Marilee, Isabella, France. Altuemi, Lena, Saudi Arabia. Andrews, Kevin, the United Kingdom. Babar, Neil, Singapore. Barkman, Kavars, Ottilia, Sweden. Cheyuk, Korea. Chogle, Vidita Nikel, Singapore. Dola, Arnaz, India. Eckhaus, Maya, Israel. Hans, Joshua, India. Hiramatsu, Yuji, Japan. Iyer, Amag, India. Z, Lange, China. Juyal, Ruhan, India. Kale, Tane, India. Kajrawal, Twisha, India. Cohen, Matthew, Singapore. Lakdawala, Marius, Percy, India. Lee, Kyu-min, Korea. Lewis, Joshua, Trinidad and Tobago. Machadi, Harini, India. Mathuria, Tanish, Singapore and India. McConville Ruby Charlotte, the United Kingdom. Muhammad Kasim Iskander, Kazakhstan. Murdeshwar Tanisha Tushar, India. Pile Adia, Singapore and India. Raman Tareen, India. Rajagopalan Divya, Australia. Ramesh Kea, Singapore. Ryu Hyun Suk, Korea. Saxena Varia, Singapore. Sen Rick Stephen, India. Taude Deshant, India. Tukral Anaya, India. Verma Ratashi, Singapore. Walia Yana, India. Wang Yidua, China.
Thank you, Mr. Ashton. Graduates, we do hope you will return to visit us anytime you want. Keep in touch with each other and your school through these visits or through our alumni network. Before we conclude, I would like to thank the teachers of these graduating students and our academic advisors for the extensive and thorough administration and documentation required before these students may be awarded their diplomas. And as always, thank you to the Parent Association for their support, as always, for this important ceremony in the life of our students and the life of the school. Graduates, go well, be kind, do well, do good. Graduates, please stand. I present the class of 2021.